At first glance, the Fernandez family seem like your average family. You have the mom and dad and a bunch of kids enjoying their childhood, oblivious to the pressures of the world that surrounds them. You have the studious daughter, the curious son, the lovable and the adorable. You have the family vacations, the family meditations, and oh, the eagerly anticipated family outings. Yes, the Fernandez family seem like your typical Indian family, don't they? But scratch the surface and what you will uncover may surprise you. Pleasantly, that is. What looks like a natural progression of life actually began way back in the summer of '93 when two youngsters began their quest unknowingly to find true love despite the odds that would be against them.
I first saw Suzette somewhere in the summer of 1993. And she used to wear braces then. So, but she still looked pretty.
When we met, of course, I found him a little too good for me. Looks and the way he used to talk and express himself and joke. He was more the outward guy. No, outgoing, more outgoing.
Extrovert.
And I was more timid, quiet, a good listener.
We kind of got close in a casual way. And I had these feelings towards her, but was too afraid to share it with her for the fact that I might lose a friendship. And college was over. I took up a job. We lost touch. I guess she landed up in Pune, and I landed on a cruise ship by '96 or so. And somewhere in 1998. I came down on my annual vacation, and I was going towards the city on my bike, and I noticed this girl. She resembled Suzette, and she still had the braces on, I guess.
Yes.
So maybe that was the giveaway. And I called her out across the street. I said, Suzette, questioningly, and she responded, Vernon, and it was. And I forgot what I was going to the city for, and I offered to drop her home. And it blossomed into a beautiful romance, and all that I had not said in the times I had 2 years that I used to walk with her almost every day to the bus stop and back. I said it, compressed it all in 3 weeks' time, and I had to leave for my ship job on the ship. The tickets had come, and so. I think it was hard for you, Sue. Breaking away was newfound love and hope, and we now shared the same faith, the same mindset, and everything seemed just perfect. And I had to leave, and I think the journey back home from the airport was the longest for her. It was. Five months into my contract, that would be somewhere around May or so, I made a call home, and I kind of broke the news over the phone to my mom. Say, Mom, I'm planning to get married this August, and that came as a shocker for a traditional family. You don't inform your family that you're getting married. You involve them, and I'm sure my mom was hurt. And she had aspirations. She had even seen some girl for me and that she liked, which it was nothing that I wanted. And there was only a long silence on mom's side of the line. Coming from a very close-knit family, it was not. It really affected me. It was not out of fear, but rather emotionally it kind of got me. Because it was loyalty to my family and love of my family on one side, and my own love for my to-be, my wife to-be. And I didn't share what transpired between my family with Suzette. I didn't want to ruffle her. I knew she was already missing me, waiting for me to come. I didn't want to add to her pressure. So I tried to handle it on my own. And but this started working on me. There was work pressure, of course. Ship job is always difficult in terms of physically it's very demanding, and emotionally I was getting drained out. Soon June came and I got so bad on my job, I could not concentrate on work. Finally, I was uh, taken off the ship, and by first week of June, I was already in Goa, and I went to see her at the orphanage where she was looking after these kids, and she was all excited. But I was living this dual kind of life, trying to not being forthcoming with the truth. And she's showing me the cards that were printed, and every time she was excited and my heart is sinking. And 3 days we saw each other, but then I could not handle that pressure of trying to suppress the truth. Finally I told her, see, I can't see you anymore, I can't marry you. She said, why can't you marry me? And I said, I can't explain, you'll not understand. Just forget about me. She said, I can't forget about you. I mean, what have I done wrong? Did you hear something about me? What is it? I said, nothing. I said, you're honest. You are the best I could ever get, and I don't deserve you, but I can't marry you. And I left her with that. Those were our last parting words to her.
All this, there was no clue given to me that it's tapering off or it's we're cutting it off. And it was a real shock to me, and I did not know how to react. And I went through a lot of mental stress, and I would listen to his tapes and read his letters, and it was like almost psyching me.
3 years after we broke up engagement, I was working on the ship and all that, but I had lost respect for myself in my own eyes. I went on a journey of self-abuse. I indulged in all sorts of activities, which were detrimental to my health, whether it be alcohol or smoking excessively or just living dangerously. Even I would not take safety precautions when I was driving or riding. But nothing seemed important enough anymore. It was the year 2000, I guess. It was my birthday actually, and I was in the US. And I was just sitting down on a log of wood, smoking, I remember, and feeling very lonely and depressed that it was my birthday and nobody even knew. My colleagues did not know. And I asked God, I said, my life's a big joke, I've lost my love, I lost my faith. Do you even know I exist, or am I just a statistic for you? And I felt God calling out me by name. I mean, I didn't hear it audibly, but thrice I felt God calling out to me and saying, I know who you are, and I love you, and I know all about your life. And I just threw that cigarette away, and I came to my bedroom, and I remember it was 2 in the morning when this happened, and I just wept and wept till maybe 6 in the morning, just uncontrollably. And I thought about Suzette, and I thought about life, and I thought all that had transpired, That started a journey sort of back, that episode, that incident with God. And I started reading the Bible again, and I started to pick up the strings of my life, where I'd left them. And along maybe 2-3 weeks down the line, I decided to apologize to Suzette's parents and to her as well. But I didn't know where she was, where in the world she would be. I searched the net for Suzette by name, and I found 6 different users in the world with exact same name and surname. And I just sent a mail saying that, this is one and I would like to get in touch with you. A mail came back 15 days later saying that a mail from Suzette, and my heart started pounding, that she's still around. And long story short, I got hold of her number. She was in Kuwait then, and we got talking, but nothing about love was spoken. I just so happy to be talking to her again. And she by nature is very forgiving. I knew that. And one of those conversations, I asked her, are you still single? So she said, what does it matter to you? So I said, but I just need to know if I'm not trying. And she said, no, I'm still single, but I plan to go down to India this time and whichever man my parents choose, I'm going to get married. So I said, you should not be marrying for any other reason besides love. And she said, what do you know about love? And I was it's tough because, and yeah, she let it out. Then she let her emotions flow, and I let her speak. And I told her I'm still single, and can I still marry you? She said, who would believe you now? You know, I said, can you please forgive me and see if it is even remotely possible.
Deep down in my heart, I knew that there was a connection, and I knew that there was a test that we went through. This was all a test, and it was like a strong wind that came and it took everything away, and it was God restoring it all back as I obeyed God and I let go of Vernon. It was God who brought it back to me this time. It wasn't me trying to get in touch with him, trying to find him, or do it on my own strength, but God himself brought it on a platter to me.
Finally she did agree to, but it was more technical this time. We said, let's get this marriage thing out of the way, let's cement this thing. So I said, I'm leaving the States and I'm coming. I'm going to meet you, and don't worry, I'll stay. I'll go ahead of you. And this time I had to prepare. The first time over, we were supposed to get married in '99. She did all the preparation. The second time over, it was my turn, sort of. God gave me the honor, and I booked the marriage hall, and I decided on the cake and the gown. Of course, she got a nice ready-made one this time, and we got married and registered on the same day. And our love was tested before getting married, as we were getting married, and after marriage. And I'm not saying that it's the perfect marriage, but we know that we serve a perfect God, and He holds this marriage together. He brought us together, He holds it together, because children, finances, work schedules, all these are precious, and sometimes love never gets a chance to be expressed or celebrated. And we do need to make time. I'm not realizing it now that to the original idea of marriage is love, and other things are responsibilities. But there's a commitment to one another.
Give and take. You can't just
Yeah.
withdraw.
We just cannot overdraw from that. We need to give back as well. God has been good. We've got 4 children. God has blessed us with 4 children, and it's quite a task to raise up godly children and provide for the family. And God is my provider, so I don't have to worry about that. And God provides the love, my heart for my wife, because you don't always love that infatuation. Yeah, it's a commitment, it's a decision. You live by your decisions, you don't live by your feelings.
And you don't feel lovely 10, 12 years after marriage.
Yeah.
It is a decision that you have made. That's what.
And when we think back of the things God has brought us through, that helps us to realize how important we are to God and how important we have been in His sight, that He has invested so much in us, and we would not want to trade that for anything in the world.